Okay, so hello Valeria. Today we are in the 3 December 2024 in Lorient. So for the biotech days, it's the convention that we organize. So first, I would like to ask you something about. Could you tell us about your background? How long have you worked for Stazione Zoologique Anton Dohrn?
Okay, so well, I start the beginning of my career as an undergraduate master student in Stazione Zoologica, doing a thesis in neurobiology, and then I also did a PhD in pathology of and molecular biology of cells, always in Stazione Zoologica, and then I lived for different years. So then I was back after almost 10 years. So I was back to Stazione, and I was back on a project using microalgae as model organism for the discovery of interesting metabolites for biotechnological applications and for ecological perspective.
That's great. So now can you speak about the laboratory? So Stazione Zoologica Anton Dohrn, what are the goals of this laboratory? So I know you are in the biotechnology department, so I think you will speak us about this department.
Well, in general, the goal of the Stazione is to understand the basic mechanism of life. So the model organisms are very simple organisms from you see, and we just want to discover life, how the life works, and how the organism developed during different eras. So phylogenetically, but also what are the function of the genes. That's why we use very simple organism as model to depict also our genome function. Regarding the biotech departments, our goal is to find, to isolate new metabolites, secondary metabolites from marine organisms with bioactive biological activity, useful for application in diverse fields of biotech, such as nutritional fields, nutraceutical fields, cosmeceuticals, and pharmaceuticals, but also engineering and also environment like bioremediation and so on.
Okay, that's great. So you already speak about the project. So do you have any current research project at this moment? So you already told me that you are working on a project.
Sorry, repeat again.
So do you have any current research project at this moment?
Yes, I work on diatoms, looking for, well, I am trying to understand the role of prostaglandins in diatoms, as prostaglandins are hormone-like molecules, very, very important in humans and generally in mammals or invertebrates. So we just few years ago, I discovered these molecules, the pathway for the synthesis of these molecules, also diatoms, and so the question now is why these very important molecules in complex organisms are present in so simple organisms also. So this means that as diatoms are at the base of the evolutionary chain, it means that they should have a very important role also in the sea. And this is the main question, what is the role? And also the project regards the mimics in lab of the proteins making the future of the diatoms. You know that the diatoms lie surrounded by like a box made of silica. And this structure can be very important for materials for building houses for in the engineer field, but also in the electrical fields and in the nanotechnologies. So we are trying to mimic lab these structures that in nature have very different shapes and are very, very resistant. Yes, so the project is to understand the relationship among microalgae, diatoms in particular, and their associated bacteria. You know, nowadays we are speaking a lot about the associated microbiomes, which is very important also for humans, not in particular the intestine one. And you know that we have a microbiome associated to different tissue, epidermis, intestine, oral apparatus, and so on. And also for microalgae exists a specific associated microbiome made of a specific group of bacteria, and they need each other to grow, to survive, and they exchange metabolites that also again can be very interesting for biotechnological applications.
Okay, and do you have any partners to help you to support all of these projects? Maybe in Europe or just in Italy?
Well, in Sazione, I have colleagues. We are 4 or 5 people collaborating. Outside Sazione, I have colleagues in Portugal, France, Ireland, Spain. So yes, there are a lot of collaborations all around Europe and also in South Africa, outside Europe.
Okay. Okay, so now another totally different question, but tell us about the difficulties faced by your company or maybe the profession about your project. There is some difficulties or not?
You mean in which term? Economics, organizational? Well, in Italy there are a lot of difficulties. The principal one is the funding, of course, for any kind of project, because if you don't have funding, you cannot do anything, because the materials and the reagents you need are very expensive. And then in Italy in particular, we have a lot of problem organization. And the management of the project and of the infrastructure and services here is very difficult. But first of all, the funding.
Okay. So now I have a different question. So do you think that biotechnology will be our future and will come in our current life first? That first one.
You mean?
Yes, you think about it, or because after I have to ask you, do you have example or result of project apply into application like pharmacy, food technology? So that's why I asked you this question.
Yes, there are a lot of, I can't say you the exact name of the molecules, but there are already different molecules on the market that derive from marine organisms. And they are molecules acting as antibacterial and particularly as anti-inflammatory and anti-tumoral. There is one now, they are very used in cosmeceuticals, but also in nutraceuticals. There are a lot of development from this point of view already ongoing. Yes.
Okay, so that's why I asked you that. So you think that biotechnology can be our future, so in the future years?
Yes, because we are too many on the earth, so there is no food available for everybody. And algae is a very important source of nutrients because they produce elevated amounts of very good fatty acids, that we need as animals, and they can be easily grown in high quantity in laboratory conditions. So that will be the future for sure.
Yeah, okay. And just to finish our last question, do you have a message for students that they are watching you? So do you have something to say or no? Maybe no?
For students in biotechnological fields, you mean, or in
Yes.
general?
No, for biotechnology. But if you have another message for all of students, it can be good too.
Well, for students, first of all, you have to be to follow your passion. To follow, what matter something that you like more. Then you have to be passionate and you have to be concentrated on your objective. So if you like this field, you have to work hard and go through yes, the study and be very applied, because then if you are very focused, you will surely be successful.
Okay, so I don't have more questions, Valeria. So thank you Thank you so much for this interview. It's very nice to have you to answer my question about the biotechnology. So see you later.
Thank you to you. I hope it was a good answer.